Hi everyone, I'm Steve Krumholtz. I'm going to talk to you today about the internet, and as an aid for my discussion on the internet, I'm going to use my favorite animal. I hope it's yours too, the LOLcat. So this particular LOLcat, you know, we just need to talk about obsession. It's important. Everyone's obsessed with the internet. I'm obsessed with the internet. You, I know, Aaron, you're obsessed with the internet. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. The internet is kind of scary. One person coined the phrase, the internet is for porn. So you have to be careful before you click on things. When you do a search, which is the primary way of accessing the internet, you can get things you don't want to see there. So the first time you're on the internet, you have to think before you click, so you don't get into those sort of troubles, especially when your parents are in the room. That's scary. When you do something like that, you have a tendency to make an ass of yourself. You have to be careful about that, right? Donkeys, really, really popular on the internet, especially with those kinds of sites, you know, just be careful, all right? Just be careful, and we're gonna move on. So if you're like me, how many of you have a parent who have called up and been like, I can't find this thing on the internet, you know, how do you find it? Raise your hand. Right, the answer, go to Google, come on. Go to Google, it has all your answers, right? If your parents are doing those things on the internet that you don't want them to do, show them how to get rid of things, show them how to hide their trails, right? Just, you don't want your little kid brother to come up and be like, hey daddy, what were you looking at last night? Not a good idea. If they still can't figure this out, computers aren't the right thing for them. You know, it's not rocket science, it's computers. If they still do it, just disown them. That's what I did. It worked really well for me. Just move on with your lives. Knowledge, and you can see here this very well illustrated room of books is a metaphor for knowledge. The internet is like this room times infinity. The problem is the internet is made of lies. When you have a book, this book right here, this red book, this book is full of truth. This book on the internet is a lie. Be careful when you go on the internet, because there are going to be lies on the internet along with other things you really don't want to see. So there's this debate out there that I'm particularly a part of. If you want to go to my Wikipedia page, you can feel free to learn more about this. But there's this debate as to whether the internet is this online community or if it's just this underground ring of people who are trying to control the minds of the world, like China. With the internet, there's a community for anything. You can do really weird things, you can do really fun things like sports, and particular kinds of sports too. If you really want to know how to get involved with the fun things, it's really easy. Do a Google search. If you want to know how to get involved with some of this other stuff, contact me later. So the bottom line is the internet is just a catastrophe. It's this giant amalgamation of things that nobody wants to see. It's full of lies, and you should just not use it. Especially, you shouldn't put your ads on it. You shouldn't market on it. You shouldn't tell anyone about it. It's just a bad place. And as part of the internet that makes it bad, email. People abuse email. A lot of people say when you write an email, you need to keep your subject line short. You need to not put porn terms in the subject line. Don't use all caps. That's a lie. In email, if you write it in all caps, people will listen. It attracts your eye. You use crazy fonts. You use all caps. You use exclamation marks. That should be a 1. Not an exclamation point. If you do that, everyone will listen to you, and that's the secret of the internet. And that helps you stand out from the crowd, like this dude who is not, in fact, standing. I don't know why this picture's here. But when you're on the internet, you can ride your ass to success. Just read 10 slides. If you want to be careful when you're on the internet, you have to Google yourself, right? I talked about Google. You can find anything on Google. That's the tool you use. You put yourself on Google, you find everything everyone's saying about you. You know, that thing that you said about me on your blog, Nick, last night, I don't appreciate it. I look at myself. If you're going to say something about me, at least use my pseudonym. Okay? And that's all. Thank you.